Alright, we're back. I got the crank put together and trued. So now we're just going to do a mock-up on the piston clearance, which I'm sure will fit now. We got the rods made the correct way. I don't know why I didn't check it before, but oh well. Way it goes in a big city, I guess. That goes in there. Let's see, my wood disappeared. Alright, pistons, rear, fight me. What the hell? Oh, that used to fall through, now you gotta push it through. Oh well. There's the rear one out. This is the rear one. One down. Okay, see if it fits. Ooh, look at that. High speed motor. There you go. Lots of clearance now. No more hitting. Try to get people nervous looking at that, right? Boom. Okay. Appears to be working now. Imagine that. Do the job correctly. First time it would work. Dumbass didn't do it right the first time. Got the dock as pay now. Of course that means I'll actually have to get paid. It'll be like a bonus. Okay, so now I gotta put it all back together again so we can get more mock up. Now we can actually turn the motor over. Bit. Get some room to work. Start flinging parts, got room. Burnish it in. Junk in there or something, hard to tell what it was. Okay, so now there's custom pieces here we made. Let's see, there's a notch on it. There it is. That notch has to go to the dowel pin. Is that on the thing? It doesn't work right. Tight tolerance in. Why is that tight? Bearings in there. That goes in the case. Titty hole someplace. Where's it at? At the top there. Got to make a build sheet on this so I remember how to make all the parts. Oh, yeah, I didn't think that was going to work. Now, if I had a little grease in there holding it, would work. I don't want to put any oil grease on here. I have to clean it. Be like more work. Okay. It's like a wood shop around here. Plug fit. Beat the tar out of it. Always tighten the dowels up first. That's the first dowel. Second dowel is down here. And the third dowel. Room for a socket on that side, and on that side. Good. Maybe we gain some clearance in there. Maybe we'll tighten it up a few thou. Okay, so lock it up all around. You put the cams in here. So cams, you got to make sure you put them in correctly. Very important. Okay, this is a number 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, in case you don't know how it goes. If in doubt, it has 2 marks on it. This one's only got 1 timing mark on it. Right there is 1. Those aren't the ones we're using though. That's the mark we're using. Multiple marks on that gear for some reason. Number 2 has our distributor drive on it. I haven't put the crank gear on there yet. Crank gear's got a wide slot here, which dictates where it goes on. Nice plug fit there. It's nice. Okay, here's our cam. So, got a mark right here in the crank. Usually move it about to there. That's this one here, and you got one here and one over here. Now all those got to go together. And the problem with this bike is this lobe sticks up so far, it gets in the way of timing the thing. So, it actually makes it kind of rough to do. See, I'm off a full tooth because it doesn't want to go in the other position. I'm off 2 teeth maybe. Yeah. Boom. That looks good. And number 4, it's when I got the 1 mark on it. So that's how you do that. So you got mark, 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 and mark. Now you can move this a little bit back and forth if it makes it easier for you to see where you're at. But you see if this one's down here, see how far off this one is. So whatever makes them most lined up is what you use. In that case, it's forward. Okay, now the idler gear just slips on down. Basically, you want to be flush here with that surface across here. It sticks up a little bit, you might be upside down. Well, obviously that is the one that's not the correct way. See the stuff in there? Now it's flush. If you put a spacer in there, it would jack it up higher and be bad. So if you're doing any shimming, it's going to be on this side. So that's how you do that. Pretty straightforward. Cam cover. Where did I hide it? There it is. When you're beating these out with a hammer right here, make sure you completely compress that, then hit on it. You don't want to break this or bend it. This is your breather. It has to be flexible like that to work correctly. Make sure the gasket's where it belongs. The gasket's been there enough times now, it's now holding its shape. Before it kept shrinking. If you pull it off for more than about a half hour, it would shrink back down. It's been on there for a month. A couple months probably straight. It's kind of taking a set. It's getting used to its new shape. Okay, that does not go there, you dumbass. That's a generator hole over there. I think we're missing one of our screws. There it is. A medium screwdriver fits, but it's a little loose. Big one fits the screws better. Some screws it doesn't. This screw here, probably not as much as the other one. Depends on how big the slots are. So if you just hold it up here with your hands, between your two fingers here, like this, kind of centers it side to side. You just rotate with your hand here. See, I'm just rotating like this. It goes pretty quick, but you got full control. If you want to get real fancy, you can actually put a dimple in here and just hold with a finger and go like on the center. Smaller screwdrivers are made that way, but this works. It only works when you're this angle, though. If you get on going horizontal, gravity fights you and doesn't work very well. Our advantage is not to be in a motor stand at this point. This is one of them. Two is you can see the cam's really good. Disadvantage is you're laying on the crank snout down there and you can cause damage if you start beating on things. Okay, tight. Tight. Use a radial pattern. Let me just start in the center and work your way out, go in a circle. And you go back to the end one over here. And you go to the end one on this way. If you skipped one, hit it. Yep, I got that one. And this should be the last one. There you go. Cam cover's on. It should rotate freely. Appears to be working correctly. So, right now the rod weight's going this way. We'll make sure we're not hitting anything. Okay, now we're going to put the motor the other way. The crank will go all the other direction. Gravity makes it go that way now. And we're not hitting the rod anymore. Remember, we were hitting the rod before. So nothing's hitting now. So now it works like it's supposed to. Good. Now we can put it back up on the stand. Stand's always going like on the motor, goes in from the right side. On this motor you can probably go either way, but just keep it simple, go the way it's supposed to go, conventional way. You don't have to fight anything. Yeah. Got a lot of clearance in here for your fingers. Kind of tight up under here. Go around the other side. Make sure your nuts go up and down nice and freely. It makes it a lot easier to put together. Okay, last one. See where the misalignment's at. Got to pull out on it a little bit. The stand's twisted like this. This is a V-twin motor stand. It's made for knuckleheads and 45s, which have the same bolt pattern. Pans and shovel heads are way out here. They're wider. Actually, knuckle would be out here too. This is just flathead. It's a big twin flathead in 45. Narrower bolt patterns. Okay. Enough of that. Make sure it turns freely again. Seems to be working good. Okay, so now you take these out. Vintage ones, new ones. Everything gets cheaper and smaller if you notice over the years. I don't care what it is, everything gets that way. Otherwise known as they figure out how to screw you more. Everything is half size, same price, makes you feel important. You'll realize you've been screwed. Okay. Rear cylinder. Oh. Let's see. I got no way of doing that. Until I get the right gaskets, I can't mock up the lengths correctly. I don't have any 20,000 stick washers to put on here. I got some 25 style ones would probably work, but I don't need to bolt the heads on, so it doesn't matter. Piston sticks up a little bit, no big deal. I clicked everything goes together and it's fitting correctly. Of course, it's only been apart about 30 times already. This is a nut that's a problem one. Kind of in the middle there. So it's got a little bit of clearance, kind of go like in the middle. Tighten it down. Can't do the manifold because I don't have the right clamps yet. Okay, there's the motor. Turn it over now. To find me a 45 motor sprocket out here eventually. Okay. Look at that. It goes up and down just like it's supposed to. Check our valves now. Exhaust, intake, The big ones are the intakes. Alright. Okay, everything turns over nice and freely now like it's supposed to. No more hitting anything. Let's call it the split overlap. These are equal, this equal. These valves are about equal in length. Pistons about equal. The difference in height is the amount of advance or retarding in the cam you got. So anyway, check the timing real quick. This is our top dead center point. Remember, it's going to go up to, we use a 16 thou gasket for the James gasket. It comes out being, I think, this is. Here's your split overlap again. See, it's about, so you know the cam timing is accurate. So if you're in doubt on your marks down here, you do this check like this. 9 times out of 10, it's pretty close to being equal. It might be slightly different. You know, the piston might be 30 thou one way or the other. If you're like an 1/8 of an inch difference in the piston height, you're off 20 degrees, which means you're 2th off. So that's just a quick reference point. Gives you an idea where you're at. All right, so there we go. A day of fun playing in here. Working like it's supposed to. Good deal. So I got to work on these heads some more. We'll save that for next week. We'll get the correct gaskets up on here, and then we'll do a mock-up and make sure everything goes through with that on there. And we'll be doing some full porting on the inside here. So go in there and clean out the rest of the stuff and cut away that edge right there. And try to make these things where they're going to run better. Right now it's just kind of roughed in, so we'll actually do a little bit of work on there now. Finish up the port job on it, and then after that I got to work on all this valve train stuff under here. I got to make all this stuff work. More work to do. But anyway, right now it looks like the rotational part is done, and we're about 90% done on the porting and the head work, kind of what we're going to run, and about 85%. Still got to do a little playing, but anyway, that's what it looks like for now. So we're getting one step closer. Just keep plugging away on it. All right, that's it for now. All right, I decided to do a little more mocking up here. I'll do a full mock up here. I'm going to set up the valve train here for the height. There they are. Go ahead and set the valve lash here also a little bit. Jeez. Oh, come on. Who put that on there that tight? Jeez. That's a little snug there. Hear the noise? Hear the change? That's because it's hitting. That's zero clearance. Yeah. Now the valve's off the seat. It's got spins also. So it didn't spin. Sounds different. That's how you know when you got zero lash in your valve. Let's listen to it. Don't have to see nothing, just feel it. Without the spring on there, it makes it easy. Okay, that one is at 0. Same thing when it spins, you can see it. Okay, those two are on. Turn the motor over the other way. Do the other ones. And you got the top dead center on the compression stroke. See, that's on the overlap stroke. See, the valves are open. That's overlap. They're both open. If you adjust it right now, you'll be wrong. When you come back around again, like over here, they'd be way, way loose. So that's how you adjust them. Not on the overlap strokes. Closed all the way up. Adjust those two valves. That works on all bikes. That's the way it goes. Everything. If it's got valves in it, that's how you adjust it. You want the valves closed when the piston fires. I don't care about anything else. That's where you got to be. That's the critical time. Alright, so this is how much lift we have now. The valves are adjusted for what they're going to run at. So there's how much lift we have at TDC on this motor. So you can see how big the cams are going to be. So there's your overlap lift. That's full lift. That's full lift. So that's how they breathe. So this big massive hole over here has to feed that hole right there. It's not this much, only that much. So I get an idea how big these ports are relative to how much actually comes out of these valves. And exhaust, you got a small port under here, feeding through that. That's what it comes through, but this is under pressure because the piston shoves it out. The piston's coming up, shoving it out. We're on the compression stroke. So the exhaust valve opens, piston's coming up, shoving all the crap out of the cylinder. Valve's still open. The other one starts coming in. As this air is going out, this one's opening up. This is sucking through this way, and this is still coming up. That's called overlap. Then this goes down, which makes a big draw as that's coming open. See, that drops down, that sucks all the crap out of here, which is coming through this direction. And as it closes, then the piston comes up, squeeze the pop out of it, and then pops it off. Boom, and it goes down. And right about that far down, the valve opens. See the valve's opening? Most all your power is gone by about right here. 90% of your power is done at this point. And so most all your power disappears about right here. And once you get about 3/4 of an inch to an inch further down, about an inch down, there's not a lot of power going left in that motor. That one-shot wonder really dropped its load. So that's how those work. If you didn't know, that's how they do it. Okay, so here's our intake. It takes these sealing nipples on here. Get it started. These old ones here don't want to go on. Okay, this should go on. I'll loosen the motor up so we can adjust the cylinder location. Now you get some movement and all this stuff, but you put your manifold on it. Some motors you can't put the manifold on that, you got to pull the cylinder off, but most of the time you can do it. Try to get one started. You go about halfway on, then you get the other one to start. If you don't go halfway on with this nut, this one starts banging against and it's hard to get started. So once we're on there, then you just pull it in a little bit further. The cylinders will kind of self-center. So once you get things kind of started, you bring your nuts down until they're flush. You go ahead and bring these down some more. And everything will kind of self-align. It's pretty good. I don't have these tied, so the cylinders aren't 100% lined up where they're going to be, but they're close. Some misalignment is allowed, but not much. Okay. When you move cylinder around, your valve clearance change slightly too. Okay, that's on there. Now if I put these paper gaskets in there, we got enough height to put the motor together. So you can see how much sealing we got. You can see how the flow of the head is. So it kind of shows what the head gasket's going to look like, or what the head clearance we got around our valve stems, around our valves, heads. See, we got a lot of exhaust, we kept it small and tight. We put the gasket on this one. See, we got the same thing going on here. See, it's real tight clearance around here. A lot of clearance this way. So they kind of match each other. That's how they're supposed to go. Okay, so the head bolts there, one over there. And gasket slid over. Hold on the gasket. Okay, this motor was made to rotate the heads this way and not this way. So you rotate them inward. That's where all the ports line up at, because that's how we machined everything. If you move them the other direction, you'd have a problem. Just put light pressure on the gasket because we're not going to use it. I just want to hold it down. There you go. Get the spark plug in there like that. Plug up your holes. There. That's how it looks like. Get this one over here. Do the same thing. We'll leave that out. Okay, that's what the motor looks like now. Looks like a real bike now. So you can see our valve clearance down there. And over here you can see how close it gets when you rotate the motor. Give it the full lift, see how it comes up. Turn the motor over a little bit. It's tight right here for some reason. Oh, the valve's tight. That's because we did the welding inside the chamber. That's why it's not happy when I do that. The motor should turn over just fine. Forgot about that though. The valve's sitting on the weld over there. I got the valves adjusted right now down here, so that's why they're tight. Okay, so there's kind of what it looks like, semi-mocked up. So it's starting to look more like a motor when you put all the parts on it, doesn't it? So anyway, that's what it looks like that. So yeah, there we go. Everything clear so far except for that one valve. This intake valve sitting up in the valve pocket because it's got aluminum in it. But oh well, that's the way it goes. Alright, that's it for night now. We're done with this one.